Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 4th of May 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and most important current affairs. So watch this video till last, but I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. But before proceeding, I just want to discuss about our application. Application name is Careers Cloud. You can download this application from the description box, and after downloading you can log in with your email id, and after login you can click on this crack current affair section and you can subscribe for 1 year or as well as for 2 year. It means you can subscribe for 12 months as well as for 24 months. Both the prices, it means both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprised that this low amount we are taking for such a good quality of the current affairs. But we are providing under this current affair, we are providing daily current affairs. In the daily current affair section you will get three type of the current affair sections. One is related to the detailed current affair of particular day, second is the question and answer format of the current affair of particular day, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application. Next is the weekly section. This is again very important because again we are providing three type of the sections, like one is the detailed current affair on the weekly basis, and question and answer format of the current affairs on the weekly basis, and especially here is a quiz which you can attempt on our application and check that how much current affair you can revise on the weekly basis. Next is the monthly section. Monthly section is again most important section because we are providing various type of the PDFs for your enhancement of the examination. Like first is the study PDF. It means we are providing detailed and theoretical current affair under this section. To revise this current affair, we are also providing the question and answer PDF. It means all the current affairs which are provided in the form of the theoretical format, we are also providing in the format of question and answer so that you can revise again and again. Next is the best 100. It means the top 100 current affairs provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise again and again. Next is the pocket PDF. This is again very important. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair before your exam in the quick format because these are the 2-liner, 3-liners current affairs so that you can revise easily. And guys, this is daily, weekly and monthly, but to enhance your performance, we are also providing various type of the smart PDFs like topic wise PDF. We are providing 20 type of the topic PDF. If your one section particular is weak and you just want to revise that particular section, then you have to pick that PDF and you can assess from this topic wise current affair PDF section. And we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDFs which you can revise before your exam. Next is the banking awareness section, especially for those aspirants who are preparing for the banking exam, and we are providing three type of the sections. One is related to the content. It means the detailed current affair of banking and economy will be provided to you. Question and answer format of the current affairs related to banking and economy, and especially there is a quiz section which you can attempt on our application. Next is the exam PDF. This is very important because if you want to revise all the current affairs of particular year, or you can say the past current affairs of particular year, then you have to just pick one PDF that is known as exam PDF. It means January, February, March and April month current affair you can revise through this PDF. Next is the special current affair. It contains budget and economic survey. It means the expected question and answer which can be asked in your exam and can be asked by examiner. We are providing that question and answer from the budget and economic survey. Also the detailed budget and economic survey we are providing. Next is state current affair. If you are preparing for your central government exam, definitely you are preparing for your state exam. That's why to enhance your state performance, we are also providing the state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So guys, there is no different subscription for different sections. We are providing only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud. You have to log in with your email ID. You can click on this crack current affair section. After that you can get 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription. Both the prices are very much low. If you see, you will definitely surprise, but on that minimal price we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, if you have any query, then you can reach us on this email ID, and you can also call on this number, and you can comment in any video so that I can personally attend your query and I will definitely answer your query. So guys, let's start today's current affair, that is 4th of May 2021. But I am again requesting you all the students that you have to like this video. We have to like this 700 plus because we want 700 plus like. This is the only motivation you can give us. You have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and you have to share this video as maximum as possible. So guys, let's begin today's session with the most important question section, and here is our first question. What is the name of world largest aeroplane which was tested in California, United States of America? So the most important keyword here is world largest aeroplane. And guys, answer of this question is D, that is Rock. So this is the code name of this world largest aeroplane, and it was codenamed as Rock, and it successfully completed its second test flight. It is the second test flight, and the aeroplane is being built by Strato Launch. This is the name of the company, guys. Remember, Strato Launch is the name of the company. It is a United States based aerospace company, and this company tested this aeroplane at the spaceport in the California, United States of America. And the aeroplane has 2 flights under the belt and has a wingspan of almost 117 feet. You can see this plane. I think you have already seen this plane. This is a combination of already 2 planes you can see here. This is basically launched by Strato Launch, and its name code named as Rock. You have to remember this. And guys, you can also see this is the second test flight, because the first test flight of this aeroplane was done in April 2019, and that was very famous in 2019. So guys, remember, the first tested in 2019, now second tested in April 2021. And this is basically built by Strato Launch company. You have to also remember. And the aeroplane has 2 flights, because we already covered that it is a combination of 2 flights, and the wingspan is almost 117 feet, or you can say 117, not 117 feet, it's a 117 meters. So you have to remember, it is 117 meter, not feet. If you want to answer in the feet, then answer of this question is 385 feet. So you have to remember this. And Strato Launch was established in 2011, and this company was launched by Microsoft co-founder, that is known as Paul Allen. So this company, Strato Launch, is basically co-founded by Paul Allen, and it was founded in 2011, and this company made this world largest aeroplane, that is known as Rock. And in 2019, Strato Launch was acquired by the US based capital management company, but you don't have to remember. The headquarters is in United States of America. So you have to just remember the name of the aeroplane. You have to just remember which company built this aeroplane, and first flight tested in 2019. And its wingspan is almost 117 meter, and it is 385 feet wingspan, and it is capable of carrying almost 5,50,000 pound payload, and can achieve a top speed of up to 119 mph, 190 mph, or you can say 320 kilometer per hour. So it is the same thing. So now we are moving to the next question. So we covered all the basic important things. Now second question is, who received the third highest order decoration of Japan, which is known as the Order of Rising Sun? And this is Indian lady, and answer of this question is Shyamala Ganesh. So answer of this question is B. So you have to remember, this is the most important question. This is the third highest order which is given by the Japan government, which is also known as the Order of Rising Sun. So mark this question in the most important section, and answer of this question is Shyamala Ganesh. You can see the picture of Shyamala Ganesh and Japan to confer Order of the Rising Sun. This is the gold and silver race decoration. This is known as, basically, because it looks like this, and it is gold and silver race decoration. Bengaluru teacher Shyama Ganesh. It means she belongs to Karnataka. So you have to also remember this. Now the question arises, why she received this medal, or the Japan government why gave this award to this lady? Because she received the order for her contribution in spreading the Japanese culture and language in the Karnataka. Japanese culture and Japanese language in Karnataka, and especially you can also remember that it is for promoting the friendship and goodwill between the Japan and India. So this is very important. And along with her husband, this lady Ganesh, she was started a Japanese language school in 1983 to promote the Japanese language and the culture. It is the third highest order national decoration award by the Japanese government, which is basically given by the Japanese government, and it was established in 1875 as Japan's first order, and it was awarded in 6 classes, in which the 5th class is known as the gold and the silver race, is ordinarily conferred upon the individual who have made significant contribution to the Japan in varying degrees, like for the culture, for the arts of the Japan, for the promotion of the Japanese culture. So one of the lady is Shyamala Ganesh. So you have to remember this. And remember what Japan, I think all the students know, capital is Tokyo, currency is Japanese yen, and prime minister is Yoshihide Suga. But you can also remember other options, like there are 3 options like Sanjana Kapoor, Prem Chatterjee, and Manasa Varanasi. So you can see first option is Sanjana Kapoor, and this lady won the French honor for theatre artist. French honor for theater artist. But this award is so much old because this was given in the end of 2019 or the starting of 2020. Next is the Priyam Chatterjee. Priyam Chatterjee basically won the Indian chef to win French honor. Indian chef to win French honor. And remember this, he is the first Indian chef. He is the first Indian chef to win French honor. And next is Manasa Varanasi, and she is basically the Femina Miss India World. Remember, Miss India World of 2020. But it is Femina Miss India World. Remember this, guys. This is important thing. Manasa Varanasi. You have to remember all these things. Now we can move to the next question. Who is appointed as the fourth deputy governor of RBI? This is the most important question because this question will be 100% asked. 100% this question will come. Answer of this question is very simple. Answer of this question is T. Ravi Shankar. Remember, B is the answer because recently Bibu Prasad Kango or BP Kango was retired on the 2nd of April 2021 after serving 1 year time period of extension because he already superannuate in 2020 because 3 year time period was over, but the time period due to COVID-19 was extended for 1 year. So in 2021, BP Kango completed 4 years. So that's why he was retired on the 2nd of April 2021. So now T. Ravi Shankar took place the fourth deputy governor position. So you have to remember this. You can see the picture of this T. Ravi Shankar. Government names T. Ravi Shankar as the deputy governor of RBI, and other three governors are Mahesh Kumar Jain. Remember, Mahesh Kumar Jain, Mishal Debapatra or Mishal D. Patra, and the third is Rajeshwar Rao. Rajeshwar Rao. BP Kango was retired recently. And remember this T. Ravi Shankar, he was been serving as the chairman of Indian Financial Technology and Allied Service, a subsidiary of the RBI since June 2020. Now he become the one of the deputy governor of RBI. And guys, always remember RBI was basically established in 1935 and its governor is Shaktikant Das, headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So these are basic things, but I think we have to cover all these things. Now next is the options. These options are very important. Like first option is Jayant Kumar Das. Jayant Kumar Das was appointed as chairman for the committee set up by the RBI to regulate digital lending frauds. Chairman for the committee set up by the RBI to regulate digital lending frauds, for the digital lending frauds. Next is NS Vishwanathan. He will head the committee, which basically you can say he will head the Academic Advisory Council Committee called College of Supervisors. Remember, College of Supervisors formed by the Reserve Bank of India. And next question is very, very important, and we discussed so many times that Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan, he was the first chairperson of the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Remember, he was the first chairperson of the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, and this question can be asked. This question is very important for the banking aspirant. So guys, remember, fourth deputy governor is T. Ravi Shankar. Now we can move to the next question. Who won Formula 1 Portuguese Grand Prix 2021? Mark this question in the most important question because we earlier covered the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bahrain Grand Prix was won by basically Lewis Hamilton. Remember, Lewis Hamilton. Next, we covered the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. This was won by Max Verstappen. So remember, Max Verstappen. So now there is a race between the Lewis Hamilton or the Max Verstappen. Now Portuguese, this is the third race of 2021 and this won by again Lewis Hamilton. So answer of this question is B, and second position goes to Max Verstappen and third position goes to Valtteri Bottas. So guys, remember, second and third positions are not so much important. You have to just remember the first position, that is Lewis Hamilton. And maximum races all over year, like all the Grand Prixes, and you can say the majority of the Grand Prixes are won by the Lewis Hamilton. So you have to remember which are not won by this person, Lewis Hamilton. So this is very important because all others are won by Lewis Hamilton. And guys, you can also remember that Lewis Hamilton belongs to which country? He belongs to Britain. And Max Verstappen belongs to which country? He belongs to Netherlands. And Valtteri Bottas belongs to Finland. So these players are belong to these countries. Now there is a C option that is known as Jack Miller. You can see Jack Miller. He also won one race that is known as Spanish Grand Prix. Basically, it is Spanish MotoGP. Moto Grand Prix. So guys, remember, Spanish Moto Grand Prix won by the Jack Miller, and Jack Miller belongs to which country? He belongs to Australia. Australia. But this is not so much important question. So you have to just remember with the news. So remember, Bahrain won by the Lewis Hamilton, Emilia Romagna Grand Prix won by the Max Verstappen, and now third is the Portuguese Grand Prix won by the Lewis Hamilton. And this is the 97th victory of this very famous player, Lewis Hamilton. And he is currently attached with the Mercedes. It means he is very famous, or you can say the number one player of the Mercedes. So remember this. Now we can move to the next question, but we covered all these things. But you can remember MotoGP Australia, Jack Miller won the 2021 Spanish Grand Prix, but it is a Moto Grand Prix, and this time it is the 97th career victory. And this Formula One championship are organized by the Federation International the Automobile, and you can remember where is the headquarter of this organization. Headquarter is in France, or you can say the Paris. Now we can move to the next question. Next are the very important questions, guys, but you have to provide us 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel. You have to share this video as maximum as possible. And here is the first question in the very important section. Nirmala Sitharaman virtually inaugurated India's first 3D printed house in which institute? And this 3D printed house is a one-story house which was built within 5 days. Within 5 days. So guys, Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji virtually inaugurated this India's first 3D printed house at the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. So answer of this question is C. It means at the campus of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, which is situated in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So it is a single story home, and this has been built in just 5 days. Just 5 days, and it cover almost an area of 600 square feet using concrete 3D printing. This is a new type of the technology, and according to Nirmala Sitharaman, if this technology is so much successful that we can made any house like 600 square feet house in 5 days, then this 3D printed house would help to meet the deadline of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of housing for all. Housing for all by the year of 2022. And there is a one company that is known as Twasta. You have to remember the name of the company. The name of the company is Twasta Manufacturing Solution. It is basically a startup founded by the IIT Madras alumni in association with the Habitat for Humanity for innovation in the shelter built the third, or you can say the 3D printed house. So there is a new type of the technology that is 3D printed house. So it is at the campus of IIT Madras. So you can see here, this is inaugurated by Nirmala Sitharaman. So examiner can ask that who inaugurated this. So it is by Nirmala Sitharaman, but it is virtually inaugurated, and it is a one-story building, and it is just completed in 5 days, and it is with the concrete 3D printing technology by the Twasta Manufacturing Company. So these 2 or 3 things you have to remember. Now we can move to the next question. Who launched the joint multinational military exercise that is known as Defender Europe 2021 in Albania? So this Defender Europe 2021 or 21 exercise is launched by one organization, and this exercise is led by United States of America, but it is not between United States of America or other country. It is basically in between United States of America and the NATO countries. Remember, NATO countries, it means North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries. So answer of this question is A, that is NATO. North Atlantic Treaty Organization launched the joint multinational military exercise that is known as Defender Europe 2021 in the port of the one of the port of the Albania, and the exercise began on 26th of April 2021, and it will go on till 10th of June 2021. And guys, remember, Defender Europe 2021 is led by United States of America, and it is an annual exercise held between the United States of America and the NATO countries to build readiness, and you can say the to check the compatibility between the USA and the other countries. So you can also see this NATO military exercise launched in Albania. It is Defender Europe 2021. So by the name Europe, you can confuse with the European Union option. So guys, don't confuse, it is by the NATO. And Defender Europe is led by United States of America, and around 28,000 United States and NATO forces from 26 nations participate under this drill. So it is the first such large-scale drill since the World War II in the Western Balkan region. If I am talking about the Western Balkan region, it means I am talking about Northern Macedonia, I am talking about Bulgaria, I am talking about Bosnia, Romania. So these countries are basically comes under the Western Balkan region. And the drills were conducted simultaneously across more than 30 training areas in the 12 countries from Baltics and the Africa to Black Sea and the Balkan region. So it is a defensive exercise, and it is focused on responding to crises. So guys, guys, you have to remember about the NATO. NATO is an intergovernmental military alliance between the 30 European and North American countries. So it is an alliance between the 30 European and the North American countries. It means total member countries of NATO are basically 30. And this NATO organization is based on the North Atlantic Treaty, or you can say the North Atlantic Treaty NAT, which was signed in 1949. And the member countries agree to mutual defense in the response to an attack by an external party. So this is basically purpose of the NATO. And where is the headquarter of this NATO organization? Headquarter is in Brussels, Belgium. So guys, remember, where is the headquarter? Brussels. So this is a new organization for you, because in the last 2 or 3 months we didn't discuss about the NATO. So guys, you have to remember where is the headquarter. Headquarter is in Brussels. So remember name of the exercise. This is very important. Defender Europe 2021. Now we are moving to the next question. Which neobank partner with Federal Bank to open instant saving account? So this is a old news. I am covering under the very important section because of this neobank, because this neobank was started by Google Pay co-founders, and these co-founders are very famous, and these co-founders are like Sujit Narayanan, and second is the Sumit Gavlani. So remember Sumit Gavlani and this Sujit Narayanan, the co-creators of the Google Pay, have launched this neobank with the partnership of this Federal Bank, and this is for the salaried millennial bank. We already covered this question, but I am covering this again because this question is important, and especially for the banking aspirants, and answer of this question is 5. So remember, the Google Pay co-creators, or you can say the Google Pay co-creators, founded a new neobank which is known as the Fi Bank. And you can also remember that these type of the neobank don't have any banking license, so that's why for its own they partner with other commercial bank to provide licensed services. So every neobank is partnered with the licensed, you can say the commercial bank or any type of the corporate bank. And this time this neobank partnered with the Federal Bank. And like you can say the State Bank of India and Kotak Mahindra Bank also launched their neobank initiatives. Like State Bank of India has YONO. You only need one, and Kotak Mahindra have also 811 neobank. So this is very important. And guys, you have to remember about this Fi neobank, because this question can come, and even examiner can ask that this neobank is created by whom. So you have to remember Sujit Narayanan and Sumit Gavlani. So this is the person. And where is the headquarter of this organization? Headquarter of this neobank is Bengaluru. So answer is very simple, and this is old question. This is just an open instant saving account, and it will be by this Fi neobank, and it is with the help of the Federal Bank. And Bengaluru based neobank Fi has partnered with the Federal Bank to issue an instant saving account equipped with a debit card in under 3 minutes for the salaried millennials. And guys, under this question you can also remember about the this Federal Bank. Federal Bank is important for you. It was established in 1931, and its managing director and CEO is Shyam Srinivasan. Its headquarters is in Kerala. And tagline is your perfect banking partner. Remember this, your perfect banking partner. And other important organizations are here, like you can first see here the option is Checkbook, or you can say the checkbook.com. Remember, India's first neobank for the small business owners. So small business owners like Kirana stores, merchants, camits, or other running businessmen. Next is the FamPay. You can see here the option FamPay. It is India's first neobank for the teenagers. It is for the small business owners, it is for the teenagers. And FinIn, it is the India's first full-fledged consumer neobank. It means it is for the small business owner as well as for the teenager. So remember about FinIn, Checkbook, and the FamPay, and answer of this question is 5. Now we can move to the next question. What is the name of the SpaceX capsule which was carrying 4 astronauts and returned from the International Space Station? And guys, this is a question mark, and mark under this very important question. So now the question is that these 4 astronauts basically returned. So we covered this question in the November 2020, that on the 15th of November, the NASA's Kennedy Space Center, the 4 astronauts were aboard SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. Remember, Crew Dragon spacecraft. It is also known as the Dragon spacecraft and Falcon 9 rocket under SpaceX Crew 1 mission. It is a crew 1 mission for a 6-month science mission to International Space Station. Now they came back in the same capsule, and this capsule is known as the Resilience capsule, because Ingenuity is basically name of the helicopter which is launched in the Mars, or you can say which is covering the Mars mission. Perseverance is name of the rover which is also covering the Mars mission, and Aditya L1 is a Sun mission which will be launched by India. So guys, remember, it will be launched by India, and it can be launched in by the year of 2022. So you have to remember this. So this is a Resilience spacecraft. So guys, remember, they came back in the same capsule called Resilience after 167 days mission after their unlocking, and now 7 people left in the ISS, or you can say the International Space Station, because with the addition of these 4 astronauts, total International Space Station passengers were 11. But now after the exiting of these 4 persons, these 7 people left in the International Space Station. The next astronaut launch of SpaceX for NASA was planned in October 2021. In October 2021, and it is known as Crew 2 mission. Crew 2 mission because SpaceX, through its Falcon 9 rocket, sent 4 astronauts to the International Space Station on a NASA commercial crew mission, which is also known as the Crew 2 mission, from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We already covered this question in the recent past. So guys, always remember about SpaceX. SpaceX was launched in year of 2002. This is a very important organization because most famous person all over world, that is the chief executive officer of SpaceX, that is Elon Musk. Headquarters is in United States of America. So you guys, you can see these are the 4 astronauts. Yes, you can remember the names of these astronauts. You can see here, these are the names, one name is Victor. I am just referring you the initial name only so that you can remember in very easy words. Like one name is the Victor, full name is the Victor Glover. Second name is Mike, full name is the Mike Hopkins. And third name is the Shannon, or you can say the Shannon Walker. And fourth name is the Soichi. First name is the Soichi. But out of these 4 astronauts, 1 belongs to Japan and other 3 belongs to USA. These Victor, Mike and Shannon belongs to United States of America, and Soichi belongs to Japan. So guys, examiner can ask that which is the, or what is the name of the astronaut which belongs to Japan, which recently landed on Earth under this Crew 1 mission of the SpaceX and the NASA. So guys, remember, since the arrival of Apollo 8 in the Pacific Ocean on December 1968, this was the US crew first nighttime splashdown, or you can say in the darkness. So since the arrival of Apollo 8 in the Pacific Ocean in December, so this is same, and they came back in the same capsule called Resilience after 167 days mission. This is a very important thing. And guys, this is a joint mission of NASA and the SpaceX, because it is aboard by the SpaceX, but it is a mission of NASA, and NASA was established in 1958, and it is a United States of America Space Agency. It is also known as the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Its administrator is Steve, but new administrator will be Bill Nelson. You have to remember this. This is very important. And who is the chief scientist of NASA? Chief scientist of NASA is Jim Green. So this is the question. Now we are moving to the next question. Who is appointed as the acting chairperson of National Human Rights Commission? This organization is very important, and you can even answer that this body is constitutional or not constitutional. So I am answering the second question, that this National Human Rights Commission is not a constitutional body. It is not a constitutional body. It is an extra constitutional body. So you have to remember this. And one very important thing, that NHRC chairperson should be Chief Justice of India or a judge of a Supreme Court, You can also remember this. And who become the acting chairperson of this NHRC? Acting chairperson is Judge PC Pant. So answer of this question is B, but he is appointed just as a temporary person, because we are talking about acting chairperson. So acting means he is just a temporary, but he can be the permanent. And he replaced which person? He replaced Justice H.L. Dattu. And always remember, I am repeating myself, that National Human Rights Commission chairperson should be any retired Chief Justice of India or a judge of the Supreme Court. So this is a very important thing, guys. And even it is an extra constitutional body, but its appointment was authorized by President of India, Ramnath Kovind. And the term of office of the NHRC chairperson and the members of NHRC is 5 years. or the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. So you have to remember, and you can see the picture of this Prafulla Chandra Pant or PC Pant. You can just remember the PC Pant, appointed NHRC acting chairperson, and he replaced Justice H.L. Dattu. And appointment is authorized by President of India, that is currently Ramnath Kovind ji, and time period is 5 years or till the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. So now we can move to the next question. What is the theme of World Press Freedom Day 2021? So mark this day in the very important section. Why? Because this is related to the press freedom, which is very less in India especially, and you have to remember the theme of this day and when this day is celebrated. This day is celebrated on 3rd of May. Every year this is celebrated on 3rd of May, and this day is dedicated to the freedom of the press and highlights the need for the government and the people to respect their commitment to the press freedom. And especially this day focuses on the challenges and issues faced by the journalists and the other media professionals, because you can say due to COVID-19 so many journalists, even so many media professionals died due to COVID-19 because they are giving information to us. So that's why this is very important. And 2 or 3 days back we provided condolences to the family of a very famous journalist, that is Rohit Sardana ji, very famous anchor of Aaj Tak. So answer of this World Press Freedom Day of 2029 theme is information as a public good. So the news should not be a fake, and it should be informative. It should be for the public good. It means it should be for the national interest. So answer of this question is information as a public good. You can also see this World Press Freedom Day. It is celebrated on 3rd of May 2021. And guys, you can also remember that recently World Press Freedom Report of 2021 was released. We covered this question, and this report was released by Reporters Without Borders. Reporters Without Borders organization. And what was the rank of India? India's rank was 142nd rank, and the country who has maximum freedom for the world press, that is Norway. So it means first rank goes to Norway. India's rank is 142nd, and this report is published by Reporters Without Borders. So remember, World Press Freedom Index of 2021. On this World Press Freedom Day, UNESCO also present the World Press Freedom Prize of 2021, and this prize basically goes to Maria Ressa. So you have to remember, Maria Ressa, investigative journalist and media executive from the Philippines, has been named the winner of the UNESCO, or you can say the Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize of 2021. You have to remember World Press Freedom Prize of 2021. And this day focuses on the challenges and issues faced by the journalists and other media professionals. So you have to remember why this day is celebrated, and especially this theme. This theme is very important, information as a public good. So this is a unique theme, because the 2021 theme highlights the importance of appreciating information as a public good or the national interest, and explore ways to strengthen journalism, not the fake news. So guys, remember, and the other options are again very important. The other options, the first option you are seeing here, the theme is very important, like end inequalities. This day is known as Zero Discrimination Day. Zero Discrimination Day, and this day is celebrated on the 1st of March, and this theme and inequality belongs to Zero Discrimination Day. And next is Happiness for All. Next theme is Happiness for All, and or forever, you can say. And this theme is basically belongs to, by the name you can guess, this theme belongs to International Day of Happiness. International Day of Happiness. And this is celebrated on which day? International Day of Happiness is celebrated on 20th of March 2021. Next is The Clock is Ticking. This we covered so many times. This theme we covered so many times. This is a World Tuberculosis Day, and this is celebrated on 24th of March. Not celebrated, basically observed. 24th of March. So the clock is ticking. This is very important, because there was also a webinar which was launched by Dr. Harshvardhan at that time during the 24th of March under the World Tuberculosis Day. So that's why this is important. Now we can move to the next question. Colonel Ghulam Muhammad Khan passed away recently. He was associated with which field? First of all, you have to remember the name Colonel Ghulam Muhammad Khan. Second, you have to remember that he was associated with which field? He was associated with one of the game that is known as rider. He was very famous rider. So answer of this question is C. So with his team, he won the gold medal in the eventing at the 1982 Asian Games, which was held in New Delhi, in 1982. He also won the silver medal in the 1982 Asian Games, that is same held in the New Delhi category, and bronze medal in 1986 Asian Games, which was held in South Korea. Also the bronze medal in the South Korean, the team eventing and the team dress. So you have to remember that this person is important, and this person also won the gold medal in the Asian Games in 1982 New Delhi in the team eventing, and he gained the highest place of any Indian rider because he was 4th in the eventing and 9th in the dressage. So this is the common words which are used under the horse riding. So you have to remember this. Now you can see here former Asian Games gold medalist GM Khan dies. You can also remember the GM Khan or Ghulam Muhammad Khan. This is very important. Now we can move to the next question. You can also remember this. Which state basically, not stated, initiated Parvat Dara Yojana? Which state initiated Parvat Dara Yojana to rejuvenate water source? It means this state is just want to recharge the groundwater, or you can say the conserve natural resources of water in the state, and this state government is Himachal Pradesh. So answer of this question is B. So you can also see this Parvat Dara Yojana to rejuvenate and recharge aquifers in the Himachal Pradesh. So the main motive is to enhance water level by retaining water for the maximum period. So you can see here this state government is Himachal Pradesh, and it is just to recharge aquifers, underground layer which contains water, and conserve natural resources for water in the state. It is just to enhance the water level by retaining water for the maximum period, and by forest department of Himachal Pradesh will be implement this scheme in the forest areas, and almost 20 crore rupees has been set aside by the state for implementation of this scheme, and it is set to be implemented in the 10 districts of Himachal Pradesh firstly, then it will cover all the districts of the Himachal Pradesh, but firstly it will become implemented in the 10 districts. And this scheme was announced in the Himachal Pradesh state budget of financial year 2021, and the scheme will provide irrigation facility in the sloping fields because it is a hilly area. Forest department also, it has already stated the construction of storage structures. So guys, remember around 27% of Himachal Pradesh area comes under the forest cover, and it houses almost 33 wildlife sanctuaries, 2 national parks, and these are very important national parks in Himachal Pradesh. One is the Great Himalayan National Park, and second is the Pin Valley National Park. So you have to remember Great Himalayan National Park and Pin Valley National Park. And this Himachal Pradesh is home to 36% of India's species of birds. So you have to remember. And recently a new Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh was not Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand was appointed. That was Tirath Singh Rawat. So you have to remember new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is Tirath Singh Rawat. So new Chief Minister. And what is the name of the Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister? That is Jairam Thakur. Jairam Thakur. And who is the Governor of Himachal? This is again very, very important. Who is the Governor? Bandaru Dattatreya. Remember Bandaru Dattatreya. He is currently the Governor of Himachal Pradesh. Now we can move to next question. And next is the important question section, guys. You have to like this video. 700 plus likes we want. You have to subscribe this channel. You have to share this video as maximum as possible. So here is the first. What is the name of India gymnast who gets Asian quota to complete or compete at Tokyo Olympics, which will be held in 2021, because due to COVID-19 it was postponed. So you have to just tell me the name of Indian gymnast. It is not so much important question because this person or this Indian gymnast not won any game. He or she basically won this seat under the Asian quota, and this person is Pranati Naik. So remember Pranati Naik. You can see here the picture. No, there is no picture. Pranati Naik, 26-year-old Indian gymnast from the West Bengal, is set to compete at the Tokyo Olympics, and she was qualified through the Asian quota, not by winning any type of the game. So remember the name is Pranati Naik. It is not so much important. Even examiner will not ask this question, but we are covering every news, so that's why you have to remember. Examiner can ask this question that Pranati Naik belongs to which game. So you have to remember he is Indian gymnast. She is Indian gymnast. Now we are moving to the last question, that is from the picture. It is a name of a book titled Another Dozen Stories by Satyajit Ray. It is translated from Bengali to English by Indrani Majumdar. So this book was basically released on the 2nd May 2021, and it is the 100th birth anniversary of Satyajit Ray, one of the India's greatest filmmaker. And guys, remember the book is published by the Penguin India. This is important because this organization is important who published this book. Another Dozen Story is a kid book, and it is a collection of 12 magical and spooky stories, and this illustrated edition is a tribute to Satyajit Ray's knowledge of literature. So that's why this book is converted from Bengali to English, and it is converted by Indrani Majumdar. Again, you have to just remember the name, that is Satyajit Ray. And guys, you can also remember Ministry of Information and Broadcasting had announced a year-long celebration across India and abroad to mark the 100th anniversary of this very famous filmmaker, that is Satyajit Ray. This is Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Now we are moving to the one-liner important point. First point here is the Vijay Goyal takes additional charge as the CMD of THDC India Limited. And what is this THDC? THDC earlier was known as the Tehri Hydro Development Corporation Limited. Remember, Tehri Hydro Development Corporation Limited, and who takes additional charge of the chairman and managing director, that is Vijay Goyal. You have to just remember because he is just an interim CMD or chairman and managing director of this organization. Next is Motilal Oswal PE acquired a minority stake in the Fincare Small Finance Bank for 185 crore rupees. So just a static news that Motilal Oswal acquired some stake in the Fincare Small Finance Bank, and this Fincare Small Finance Bank is basically Bengaluru based bank, or you can say Karnataka state headquarter, and established in 2017, and MD and CEO is Rajiv Yadav. Next is veteran Gujarati and Hindi film actor Amit Mistry passed away. So the most important thing under this question or under this line is the name. Amit Mistry. He was just 47 and he died due to the cardiac arrest, but he belongs to which state? He belongs to Gujarat because he was very famous in Gujarat, and even he was also involved in the Hindi film industry. And actor Amit Mistry worked in very famous TV shows like Tenali Rama, Madam Sir, and played roles in many films like Yamla Pagla Dimana and Shore in the City. He was also actually involved in the theatre circuit, especially in the Gujarati shows. That's why he was famous in the Gujarat. So remember this. Next is Sri Lankan cricketer Thisara Prera retires from international cricket. Again, it is not important. You have to just remember the name and the country name, that this player belongs to which country. Next, World Laughter Day. Very important, guys, because happiness is the key of success. So examiner cannot ask this day that it is celebrated on which day, because it is celebrated on the first Sunday of May. So first Sunday of May in 2021 falls on the 2nd of May, so that's why it is celebrated on the 2nd of May. The day is celebrated to raise awareness about the laughter and its many healing benefits. So more than 70 countries around the world are celebrating World Laughter Day on this occasion. The first World Laughter Day was celebrated in 1998 in Mumbai, and India organized this day, and this day is organized by Dr. Madan Kataria from Indian side. So Dr. Madan started the laughter yoga movement in 1995, and this was the first person who started this laughter yoga in 1995. So you have to just remember. Next, ICC banned Sri Lanka Nuwan Ziosa from cricket for 6 years due to corruption. So many cricketers are banned due to the corruption. It is basically involved in the 2019 corruption case. So that's why now ICC banned another player. Earlier they banned the UAE player, Sri Lankan players. Now they are banning again Sri Lankan player. Basically it is he is a Sri Lankan former cricket player and also the coach of Sri Lankan team. That was Nuwan Ziosa, and he was banned for the 6 years from all formats of the cricket after found breaching of the ICC anti-corruption code. So guys, you have to just remember the name. So now we are moving to the one-liner question of the day. What was the question of 2nd and 3rd May of 2021? Global Financial Development Report provides an update on the state of public and private credit reporting, and the report is published by following institution. Which are the following institution? So many students, even maximum to maximum students gave the right answer, but 5 to 6 students gave the wrong answer. So answer of this question, right answer of this question is World Bank. So guys, remember the answer of this question is World Bank. And Global Financial Development Report, you have to remember this keyword, is always published by the World Bank, and it represents the data on the ownership structure and extent of information collected by the credit reporting institutions around the world. So this report is published by World Bank. Now we are moving to the question of the day. What was the question? During which years Dr. Manmohan Singh served as the governor of RBI? So it is very simple question and most important question. So guys, you have to tell me Dr. Manmohan Singh time period as a governor of RBI, because he was the only governor of the RBI who was appointed as the prime minister. So guys, remember this question you have to answer me only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer, and you have to provide us 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel. You have to press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. You have to share this video as maximum as possible. And guys, it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, especially if you are watching the videos and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDF. Your current affairs section will definitely go strong. And you can subscribe our PDF from the description box link, because from the link you can download our application, and after downloading you can subscribe for 1 year as well as 2 year current affairs. Prices are almost low, but you can also get the 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, remember, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy and always be at home, because don't go outside. There is a threat and your life is valuable. Thank you guys for watching this video and take care.